We plait and we ponder and we plait. Oh, yes.
Ooh, it's different music today.
It's vibing corporate, like generic tunes. Like when you're walking into the global retreat at the Fairmont Hotel Kualane or something like that.
Either that or like the hiring video that you watch.
Oh, yes. Welcome. We do not accept any sort of behavior that might be seen as undisciplined or harassment of any course. We are Plate and Ponder, empty nesting with Jen and Chris Fenton. We do have Jen here. Yay.
Hi, I'm back again at my own show.
You are?
Yeah.
With corporate fun music in the background.
True.
Human resources music.
Can we go right into a conversation about the Oscars?
We can.
Because we spent a lot of time on Sunday talking about the Oscars.
I will say, though, in the background, there's a little bit of a hum. Does anybody know what that hum is? It is...
Oh, the air conditioning.
The air conditioning. Why? Because it's mid-March, of course. Mid-March, 95 degrees at the beach. What is it in Woodland Hills today? I believe 103?
I don't know. I did talk to Dylan on my way home from work because he helped me with my basketball bracket. And I said, Bud, I mean, I don't mean to brag right now, but it's 91 degrees. And I said, what's it like in Montreal? He's like, 7.
Oh my God.
Okay. Sorry, buddy. I don't mean to be, I don't need to be mean and rub it in your face, but I am sweating balls here. And
you're not sweating balls. We don't need to get into this because we are PG rated, but you're definitely not sweating balls. I will say that this weird thing happened to me today where I was watching a little bit of the news in the morning, getting ready while we had workers at the house fixing a leak, which, by the way, why are we fixing a leak? Because it literally today, it feels like it might not rain for the next century.
Just take it out of the universe.
Anyway.
Please just take this out of the universe.
It's pretty unbelievable how hot it is in March. I think we're breaking all kinds of records, not by like 1 degree, but like 10. But I was wondering, and it's sort of brutal, like what's happening with this Iran conflict, but they keep bombing now. Iran is bombing different installations of natural gas and fossil fuel.
Yeah, is that why gas prices are through the roof and so are airplane fares?
Well, that might be because we live in California, number one. But we do have very high. Just before this conflict, we had $6 gas, so it's like we're. It
was not that high.
It was like $5. Well, it was like $5.19 or $5.29. Okay,
$5.19 is not $6.
Okay, well,
that's an exaggeration.
I do remember back in the day when you're like, "Oh, let's go. Oh, we're gonna buy a house," and you're like, oh, okay, what's the limit? And I'm just going to throw a limit on there. It's like, oh, the limit is $1 million. Oh, okay. And then I see you bring like an advertisement and it says, this beautiful house. And I look at it and the price is $1.999 million. And I'm like,
it had a 1 in it.
Yeah. Like that's not, but anyway, the $5.19. Yes, I get it. It's not $5.99, but it's getting close. Now it's well over $6. I think everywhere. It might even be higher than that. But what crossed my mind today was just this insanity of like fossil fuel use and greenhouse effect and climate change and all this stuff that Bill Gates was like pushing. And by the way, I agree. Like first of all, climate change is real. It's partially natural. It's partially man-made for sure.
We've talked about this a little bit.
We don't want our Earth to be essentially a garage filled with a running car. Like that is not healthy for anyone. It doesn't take any sort of science for that.
I'm smiling because do you remember a story? Do you remember when my mom accidentally left the car running in the garage and we're like, what is that noise? What is that noise? Because it sounded like the humming of the
I was
air
just like, there's
conditioner.
something going on in your garage. Like, is that your washing machine somewhere else? Like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, I don't know. It's not a big deal, blah, 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 blah. I was like, something's happening out there. So I go and she had the door closed of the garage and her car was in there just running. She forgot to turn it off. And I was like, oh. that definitely killed a couple roaches in the garage and probably would have eventually gotten to all of us. But anyway,
thankfully you saved the day. You are the hero.
We saved the day. But no, back to the story that I've spent 5 minutes trying to get to, and
I'm sorry,
I'm just not as focused as I should be.
Oh,
but, yes,
I know why.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay, we're gonna share with you in a little bit. My husband might be turning old.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Do I need to check my blood pressure right now? No, we were. So I was watching the news, and I'm seeing these oil rigs on fire. I'm seeing gasoline, natural gas ships, and whatever on fire. There's Iran is bombing installations for energy installations in Iran are getting bombed, and there's a massive amount of fuel capacity there that is on fire. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, where are all those like climate change people right now? Like, shouldn't we be saying, hey, can't we like Greta Thunberg should be like on a sailboat in the Persian Gulf going, peace. Like, we want
probably
peace.
Not the safest for the moment, but I understand what you're saying.
Probably not. Anyway, I hope we can get this thing resolved for a variety of reasons, but another one is Mother Earth. I mean, Mother Earth is not happy when she's on fire in one part of the world. So anyway, I digress. So
okay, now I'm going to digress based on your digression. I am sorry to the listeners who are having trouble following Chris today. He has discovered that he has high blood pressure, so he has become the old man with the blood pressure machine, and I'm looking at it, and he's literally taking his blood pressure like 7 times a day, and he's cutting things out. He's also cutting. So look, anybody that knows Chris knows that you are absolutely brilliant. Your mind, though, works too quickly. And because of that, you have a problem focusing, and you have ADD. You do. So you take something to help with your ADD. But in light of the recent blood pressure finding, you are now cutting out everything in hopes that you can pinpoint the cause. Except you're not taking your ADD medicine, and it's driving me crazy.
Well, it's sort of crazy that we're going to talk about my specifics in health to 50 nations around the world.
I'm sorry. Is that a break of HIPAA?
Well, you know what would be interesting is if we got picked up in Oman, Bahrain, Iran, a lot of those Gulf nations, because that would be sort of cool because they could chime in on some of the stuff that's going through my mind.
But we're talking about blood pressure.
I know.
Right now.
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
so anyway, I haven't taken I haven't taken my Focalin. And here's the thing: is that when you understand what that stuff is, it's a bit of a what do they call it?
Stimulant, right?
It's a stimulant.
Well, no, for you it's not. Because you have ADD, that medicine helps you focus. If I were to take that medicine, it would be like I took speed. That's what it does. So for somebody who needs it, it definitely allows you to concentrate.
Well, I do know I was walking back from a sunset surf tonight because it is absolutely gorgeous. It literally looks like we live in Hawaii right now, and the sunset is just glowing off of my beautiful wife. And I was walking by some kids, like probably seniors in high school, and they're talking about midterms, and they're talking about whether they can borrow some, each other's Adderall because, hey, yours is 75 milligrams and mine is like 100 milligrams. Like, I'll trade you 2 for 1 or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh my God, those milligram numbers are like insane. It's almost like when you talk to somebody, here in California, pot is legal and you can...
Oh, like a gummy? Like, I take 20 milligrams and you're like, I take 5?
I have friends that literally chew like gummy gum that's like 100 milligrams.
How would that not put you out?
Oh, I think I would. I believe I would OD
I don't know.
or something.
Can you OD on pot?
Well, I would definitely I don't know. I have no idea what would happen. But it's insane. So anyway, bottom line is, I had my prescription this year upped a little bit, and it's still very low dose, but it was upped a little bit, and it's literally the only thing that I have changed year over year, other than becoming 2 nickels with 55. Okay, so I get it. Age could do it. But I have never had anything close to high blood pressure. All my other stuff is perfect. And of course, it's not like crazy high blood pressure, but it was enough for my doctor to say, hey, maybe get a blood pressure machine at the house. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what is a blood pressure machine? Because I'm just used to what you see in a doctor's office and is attached to this big stand and everything. I was like, great, am I going to be one of these old people with like stuff in my nose and like bringing tanks around and stuff? And she's like, no, they're like little things. You can buy them on Amazon or whatever. So I have it on my desk, and I'm literally like, 8 times today. I was like, oh, I feel calm. I'm gonna try it now and see if it's any better, And then of course, haven't had any salt, and didn't have a glass of wine last night. In fact, I apologize to listeners, but I am not plate and pondering effectively right now. I have a glass of water, so like I'm just trying to figure out why suddenly this has happened, and it might actually be because I feel a lot of extra anxiety and stress to make sure that we're entertaining people all around the world now that we're in 50 countries. It was much easier when it was just a couple friends in Manhattan Beach.
When it was like the 8.
And I have failed because I just talked about my health for the first 11 minutes here. So I apologize to everybody. Let's move on to something more fun so I don't get anxious.
Okay, Oscars. Oscars were Sunday.
Do we do that or we do that?
No. Look, the show was boring. I don't know. And the ratings were down, right?
Ratings were down again. In fact, they were down 2 million from last year, which was not very good either. And it's just, I mean, on top of it, I think I was in the bathroom this morning and we were getting ready, and I go, was Brad Pitt even there?
I didn't see Brad Pitt. Even at the Variety.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, any of these people?
No, and even at the Vanity Fair party, I haven't seen photos of their arrival, and that hasn't been pushed out by the press. I mean, you saw
What about George Clooney?
I didn't see him. Mm-mm.
So, no movie stars go to these things anymore?
Well, that's not fair because Michael B. Jordan, who won the Oscar, is a movie star, and he was there. Robert Pattinson, who played...
Wait, Robert Pattinson was there?
Yeah, he was there. You know who was there? My Heated Rivalry boys.
Well, yeah, okay.
They looked great once again. I told you Connor Story was going to be in Saint Laurent, and Hudson Williams was going to be in Balenciaga. I called it. Mm-hmm. You know who was another one that I thought looked really great? And you've been watching that love story, the Carolyn Bessette and John F. Kennedy Jr. love story, that miniseries, right? You've been watching that with me.
Yes.
And so the girl who plays Carolyn Bessette, her name is Sarah Pidgeon.
Yeah.
She wore Calvin Klein, which is sort of funny because remember that Carolyn Bessette used to work at Calvin Klein. So it's a little bit of a play on that, I think.
An old buddy, Anthony Bradford, who worked for us a long time ago, he had a role in that show. I just saw you posted on Facebook. Shout out.
Ooh.
Well,
Jessica Alba was there.
Okay,
she's
first
a movie
of all,
star.
wait.
She looks beautiful.
We're trying. I'm in Hollywood, and I am trying. Oh, there's Richard on his balcony over there watching the sunset. I'm trying to figure out movies that I'm involved with, content that I'm involved with that engage red and blue across the country and hopefully across the world too. What Hollywood is doing, I mean, you just told me, the John F. Kennedy movie series, that's a coastal thing. I think everybody,
I think people are watching it. I disagree.
Heated Rivalry is
a coastal thing, and it's not in a lot of the countries that we have listeners. Like my sister hasn't been able to see it. It's not in the UK yet.
So why aren't we having our biggest movie stars with our biggest branded franchise stuff that goes around the world at these things?
I don't know Brad Pitt's schedule.
No, I know.
It is a little strange that F1 was nominated and he wasn't there, but maybe he had something going on. I also don't keep up with George.
Sean Penn was with Zelensky. He was hanging out with Zelensky.
Sean Penn decided not to attend, and Kieran Culkin made some funny joke accepting the award. I guess he isn't here or didn't want to come. I mean, it was definitely a snub.
I was listening to my old friend Jerry O'Connell on Bill Maher.
Oh, that guy's getting a lot of heat right now.
He is, but I'm proud of him, essentially telling it like it is and getting into some sensitive stuff, which is hard for an actor to do or a personality, because you know that on the other side of that you're going to get crushed by social media or whatever it is, because there's always haters, but one of the things they were talking about is how Hollywood's just shooting themselves in the foot so much. And we even talked, like, I'm an Emmy voter, right? And whenever I can vote for the Emmys, Landman. I love Landman, right? And we got into Yellowstone, and what's the other one?
Tulsa King?
Tulsa King. And yeah, these Taylor Sheridan series, they're like, some of them are programmers, but like some are really fantastic to watch with great casts and all that stuff. They never get nominated ever. Why? Because it's like they see it as too red state, like it's not about, and it is sort of crazy because Bill Maher is like, what, they tackle a lot of different subjects in Landman. In fact, there's, there was a gay roommate to, the most powerful woman in the oil business is, the CEO in the oil business is a female. Like, there's all kinds of different stuff that's covered. It's crazy that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm raving about, other than the fact that I want Hollywood to succeed. Like, I believe in it. I've been in it my whole career, but like, why do we not get out of our bubble and focus on the audience, not just on ourselves? It's crazy.
I don't know. I don't think any of the movies, with the exception of maybe F1, I don't know, none of them were really, really marketable. I'm also, now I will tell you, as somebody who reads Us Weekly and People, I'm one of those, I go down the rabbit hole. I am really, really fed up of Hollywood looking so skinny. Honest, I'm a thin girl. I'm not saying I'm not, but everybody is so freaking thin. I mean, even Ben Stiller, we saw some video of him doing a promo at a market, and he was unrecognizable. So both men and women are doing, I think it's Ozempic.
Well, we
or
don't,
some form.
I mean,
we
don't know
Listen,
for sure with Ben Stiller, but it's weird because there were a lot of people that I feel like didn't have any sort of weight issues, and now suddenly they have this like weird looking, really skinny thing.
Okay, when Heidi Klum looks fat on the runway, that's an issue.
Yeah, well, yeah,
honestly,
her outfit was.
Look, the outfit, it was a poorly fitted dress.
And by the way, it's one of the only outfits I remember, but like
it did not fit well, and that's fine. But like when she looks like a larger woman compared to the other celebrities on the red carpet, that's a problem. Like, we're saying a supermodel is large. Like, I think there's something wrong with our society. I think it's a bad thing for young girls, right? I'm an adult. My daughter is 19. She has sort of found her way, but I still think she's impressionable. I have an issue with it. Everybody looked so thin.
You know what, the part that really sticks out to me when I see, like, sometimes I'll see a woman who's thin and you'll be like, oh my God, she's so thin. And then I'll look at her again and I'll be like, oh, you're right, she is. The thing that stands out the most to me with overly thin people, particularly women, although you see it sometimes with men too that are way overboard on this stuff, is the arms. The arms literally look like it's just
toothpicks,
bone and skin. There's no muscle or fat or anything. And it looks like it's so frail.
I know. I mean, women, especially in their late 40s, early 50s and 60s, we're supposed to be building strength, right? Because when you go through menopause, you lose muscle mass. So the, I guess, shift in the story and the messaging is know that frail, bone-thin peg arm is not what you should be aspiring to. Except when you look on the red carpet and that's what everybody has. I mean, some of these actresses who are in their mid 50s and 60s look phenomenal. Like, you're like, God, they're aging pretty well. And then you're like, ooh, a little too skinny. We got to add some 5 pounds.
Well, it's fun. Shout out to Madani, my doctor, because, and that's not Mom Donnie, the
Thank
mayor.
you for clarification.
But, she essentially said, look, I said to her, I'm carrying like an extra like 8 or 9 pounds that happened like 4 years ago. And I got rid of it through like all kinds of crazy trying. And then it just came back, and I can't, no matter what I do, I work out 7 days a week. She's like, yeah, your pulse is 55. Like you're in great shape.
That because you're checking it 7 times a day.
But she's like, you're in great shape. And I go, I know, but I can't get rid of it. And it's not in the place where I want it. And she's like, welcome to 55. And I go, yeah, but I do know some guys that are jacked that are 55. And she's like, well, are they using stuff? I said, well, I did try with my son creatine. And boy, that was a mistake. Do you remember when I tried the creatine?
Yeah, you got bloated.
Oh my God. It was like, by the way, when I think about back in high school when I was trying to gain weight, why didn't I know about creatine? Because that put 15 pounds on me faster than
Water
lightning,
weight, yeah.
but it went like straight to my gut. It was the worst. So that did not work. But I will say, that yes, there's guys that are jacked. She says they're doing all kinds of different blah 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 blahs, and she's like, there's a lot of health effects with that. I said, I don't want any of that. I don't care about that. Like, but she said, and don't you dare ask me for Ozempic or something like that. I will never prescribe that to anybody that's even remotely like you. You know,
Yeah,
like
look, Ozempic and the drugs in that nature, I think, are prescribed and are used well. I mean, there's certain things that it's for, right?
It's not used for losing
diabetes.
5 or 10 pounds.
No,
if
you are obese, it is absolutely a
100.
lifesaver.
Oh, it's 100% saving. But what I guess my point is, I'm sure we have plenty of friends and people that are using it right. But then you watch the way the Hollywood type is doing it, or even a lot of people in LA where they're trying to like lose 5 or 10 pounds. And I'm just going, that does not look healthy. And what are they doing? And then once they lose the 5 or 10 pounds, then they keep going. And that's where it's not
that's
good.
slippery slope.
So anyway, I don't know why we're spending this much time on health, but
I've got another topic.
yeah, let's do that because I don't want to talk about how I'm an old man anymore.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Iran kind of sort of in a roundabout way. So here's my question for you. We are in this war, okay? And we are spending a lot of money and we are bombing a lot of things over there. And we cannot seem to get our airports under control. TSA is bonkers right now. Our daughter is flying home for spring break, and I don't know.
I was looking for that sound effect.
I don't know if you should use that with like planes. I feel
no,
like
that was meant for the war.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's a great effect, though, right?
Scary.
But hopefully, we never have to use it again. Let's get this war over with. Please.
But why aren't we spending money on TSA and some of the people that are protecting us here in the United States?
Oh, I literally want to
explain
yell at anything that I can yell at when it comes to this TSA thing because. Forget the inconvenience part, right? Because we talked about that and the chaos at New Orleans or whatever it was. That does not bother me. What bothers me is we've literally took a broom to a hornet's nest in the Middle East where already there's a lot of people that do not like Americans or America. Okay,
No.
Now we've. You know, and I'm not making a call on whether this was the right war or the wrong war, any of that. Forget that. But regardless, even if it was right, we have definitely radicalized a lot of new people, and we definitely took the radicals that might be here in the U.S. to another level on this thing. And the fact that we don't have 10 times as many TSA agents working right now, making sure these planes are completely safe to fly, is crazy. Like 10% of the TSA workforce today did not show up for work.
That scares me. And you know why it scares me even more? Because we just watched Tehran.
Oh, yeah.
And the first couple episodes, if you haven't watched it, it is really good. But talk about getting your blood pressure up. That is very stressful. And on the first episode...
I wonder if that's why I have high blood pressure. Oh, my God.
But on the first episode, a plane, mysteriously diverts to Tehran.
It loses an engine.
It mysteriously loses an engine. And there are 2 Israelis on the plane, which obviously presents a problem where they're landing. And then some things go down from there. But that's a situation where you're like, who's checking that TSA? Who's checking that bag? Who's checking that overhead? Like that makes me nervous.
100%. And then I really, really hope people don't take it out on TSA people. When I said 10% of the TSA workforce did not show up for work today, which was what was said on the news, that doesn't mean my problem is with those people that didn't show up. Now, granted,
Would you show up for work if you weren't getting paid?
Yes. I mean, they're saying they have to show up. They'll get back pay, all that kind of stuff. And it's for the good of the country and all that. And I get it. The people that are showing up are true patriots and and people we should really thank over and over again that they're serving our country without getting paid. Okay. But the people that are not showing up because they're not getting paid, I'm sorry, but I can't blame them either. Like, granted, there's one level of patriotism that the people showing up have, but the people not showing up, I'm not going to get that angry at. It's the people that aren't paying them, or the people that have decided to hold up congressional votes or to not vote for paying them. Those are the people we should be upset at, because these people do not make a lot of money and they have a very important role for all of us.
I want to look up how much TSA agents make. I'm curious.
I hope they make, say, entry level. I hope they're in that 65 to 70. And I hope the managers and the overseers maybe make over, close to 200 with overtime or something like that. I don't know what the education is that they need, but it's an important role.
Okay, I'm going to tell you national averages, and I imagine depending on the airport, right? Like the Podunk Airport in Alaska probably doesn't get paid the same rate, or the person there doesn't get paid the same rate as like an LAX or JFK. So let's just say national averages. The starting salary range is $38,000 to $49,000.
Okay. Do you
hold
need
on.
Is it a high school degree or is it?
Hang on. Let me just keep reading. I don't know. The average experienced salary, and I don't know if experienced is 6 months or 6 years. That's $55,000 to $75,000. And top tier, that's like your lead supervisor at TSA. They can make anywhere from $80,000 to $105,000.
Okay. Well, I'd sort of like them to make more. And honestly, if everybody had another $5 surcharge onto their tickets so that they could get paid more, I would be more than fine with that idea, or whatever it costs. Like, that is a very important job. I actually thought the best way to get TSA agents to do a great job is A, hopefully pay them well, but B, when they show up to work, they show up to work with an overnight bag every day. And randomly they pick certain TSA agents to have to board a plane and fly somewhere, and then they fly back after that.
It's skin in the game.
It's skin in the game. Like, they will make sure they're overdoing it and everything is safe if they know that maybe they have to get on one of these planes that they're checking
or their
passengers
buddy,
for.
Or somebody.
Their buddy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's an interesting concept.
But pay them. I mean, even if we're not paying them that much, which is what you're saying, we need to pay them, especially given those salaries. How long can you survive if you're not making money every week? Like,
well,
these
with the
poor
prices,
people.
I mean, with eggs and milk and inflation and rent, it's ridiculous. Didn't we have a conversation that the average American doesn't have, what did we say? I feel like we had a conversation about the average American and how much they had in their savings.
It is.
It's low.
I feel like it's less than $1,000 or something like that.
Wow.
There's actually, we're breaking records for people tapping into 401ks prematurely, which means they're not getting to the retirement age and they're getting penalized with taxes and all that kind of stuff. And we have all kinds of different consumer default numbers that are going up quite a bit. I mean, people are having a hard time affording things. And then when energy prices go up, that seeps through the whole economy, and really exacerbates what's already an unaffordable situation. And then the government can't really do much about that. Like, you can't, if you give everybody stimulant checks or whatever, something to help them get through it.
But we saw that it didn't help because people just spent it.
Right. And it creates inflation. So like, you give somebody $1, you give everybody $1, everything costs, $1 more for the most basic kind of thing.
My assistant just told me that savings tends to peak just before retirement. And there are savings measures by age group. And obviously this figure represents just cash, right? It's not like your 401k or home equity. So if you're under 35, the median savings is about $5,000. If you are between the ages of 45 and 54, that savings average is about $10,500. If you are 75 and older, that savings is about $11,500.
Well, I don't understand
So
what
isn't
that does. That mean like
So
if you're
it-
over
on-
75, you only have $11,000 in your account.
Maybe you've got a 401k. Maybe you've got equity.
So they're not counting that.
No, they're
kind of
just
stuff.
they're just counting cash
Cash.
in the bank. But still, that cash in the bank, if there's an emergency, I mean, I feel like I'm that old woman. Like, make sure you have access to cash.
Well, I tell you that all the time. You should.
And
have
also,
cash in
I
your
should
wallet.
have more than a fourth of a tank of gas.
Or more than a negative below the empty thing where you go, oh no, I got another 20 miles. How do you know that? How did you test that? Did you actually get it to the end and you calculated it and you called AAA and they picked you up? Like, how did you even figure that out? That's my question. So, but anyway, if we go to just everyday occurrences, and obviously we're in California, so things cost a little more, ridiculously. But if you only have $1,000 in your savings account, that typically means like filling your car with gas is over $100 for a lot of cars now.
Well, if it's an SUV, sure.
Yeah, and then if you have a car problem, that car problem is usually going to cost. Yeah, it's definitely going to cost you $1,000. I mean, you have a flat tire and you need to change all 4 tires. You're going over $1,000 now. It's the days of the four new tires for $200. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know because I have to, do that manly stuff every once in a while.
For me or for you?
For me.
Okay.
And you. Because
and the kids. And more the kids.
Your car, the kids are the best because the warning lights go on for who knows how long, and then I have to move it, and I look, and I get out of the car, and I'm going, hey, Dylan, there's 7 warning lights on in your car. Yeah, but you know what? They don't look that important. I'm like, no, it looks like you have 0 oil in your car. Like, well, now I'll take it to Jiffy Lube or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of, you know what? I can tell I didn't have my focal in today because we did focus on a couple
but very
topics.
Surfacely. Honestly, I mean, I feel like we bounced around.
Let's talk
back
about
and
it.
forth.
It was Oscars. We have a problem with this bubble mentality where it's all about what we want and not what the rest of America and the world wants.
And everybody's too thin.
Everybody is too thin. We definitely have an Iran conflict that we continue to pray for our men and women serving over there.
Are
and
people
for the people
talking
in the
about
region.
it? That's
They're
my
definitely
question.
not talking about the Ukrainian war, which, by the
No,
way,
that's-
what happened to
that's-
that? When was the last time you saw a pro-Ukraine flag anywhere? Like, remember,
nope.
everybody had to have Ukraine things on their LinkedIn and on their Twitters and
Okay,
on
when
their
was the
houses.
last time we talked about Venezuela, though?
Last night, because Venezuela won the world championship in baseball. They beat the U.S. 30-2.
Well, I'm actually talking
so
about
that might have been one of the more ironic things of 2026. I mean, think about that. Is anybody talking about the irony of that? Literally, they beat the U.S. First of all, the USA has a gazillion people in it, and everybody plays baseball and has club baseball and a gazillion other dollars thrown at it. And Venezuela, that unfortunately, for a variety of different reasons, most people don't even have a pot to piss in there. They beat us. They beat everybody. They won the world championship. It's insane.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. It's very ironic in so
It
many
is,
ways.
it is.
It'd
I
be
feel
like
a
if
little
next
dumb
year,
right now.
like if Iran wins the World Cup, that would be
Yeah.
even crazier.
Are they going to play, or are we going to move the game to Mexico?
Well, I guess they might be moving those games to Mexico if they can. I don't know what the outcome of that is, but I could see why they really don't want to come to the U.S.
I
right
get
now.
it, but I wouldn't want to go there. I'm not going to lie.
No, well, yeah, I mean, even pre-war, it looked like it wasn't. Although they do have a cool-looking Space Needle. It almost looks like Seattle
Tehran.
or Toronto.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go up in that, though.
No,
Like, it seems like that would be a pretty hot area for terrorist activity.
But are people, I ask again, are people talking about what's happening? We don't have kids at the dinner table anymore. So I can't have that conversation like, Haley, in social studies, were you talking about the Iran war? And what do you know about it? And, what are your thoughts on it? And asking age appropriate questions, because our kids are grown. And when they call, that's not, if I have 7 minutes with them, that's not what I'm going to focus on. But are people talking about it?
I I think people are talking about Iran. They're definitely talking about it. Yes, I'm on social media and people are talking about it, but in general, there is an undercurrent of small talk that occurs, whether you're in a meeting or at a lunch or even on a Zoom at that opening while everybody's waiting for everybody to get on. There's people talking about it. So, and then on top of it, there's always a breaking news of,
that startled me. I got a little bit of a jump.
Yeah, of something. That's a good one. That's loud. That's the kind of thunder that scares Flynn. But anyway, it's something that we really hope gets resolved soon.
We keep saying that. The last 3 podcasts, we have said that. And 3 podcasts later, I still have concerns about what our game plan is.
Well, I think maybe...
And we are diverting resources when they should be spent here.
100%. Well, I mean, at least for the most basic thing like TSA, I mean, come on, let's go.
So who's running this joint?
I don't know. By the way,
is it Jared Kushner?
Okay.
Is it Trump? Like, who is it?
People might not like Trump. I get it. But let me tell you, Congress is not doing anything either. The checks and balances of everything seems to be completely discombobulated. So I feel like maybe that's a serious topic we hit next time, because I just can't tell if people are going to like this episode. We just sort of plate and pondered and bantered.
You know what? It feels a little bit like our very first episode when we were all over the place.
Wait, the which one?
The very first episode when we were all over the place.
You know, that first episode has like triple the amount of engagement that any of our other ones have. Like, people really like it. Yeah.
Huh, so maybe people will like this one.
I think so. Well, I would say until next time, we're going to go to our Haleakala retreat, corporate retreat with our HR music, and just plate and ponder a little more. So that you're listening to Plate and Ponder Empty Nesting with Jen and Chris Fenton. Until next time, we miss you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.